Okay, so today we're going to be creating our portfolios. So it's everything that we had done during this time, this 10 weeks or so. You're going to put it into an online portfolio. So you have to open up InDesign for this. So you're going to be doing a 12-page portfolio. It's just a quick portfolio, trying to get you used to using this program. And it's a program designed, and it's designed for those, I will say, those who likes to keep things as perfect can be. So I will say that's the program. And let me just open up. So you're going to go to File and open, you're going to go to New, sorry, and you're going to open a document. You can choose whether you want to have this document portrait or landscape. So this will be a printed, just say it's a printed portfolio, but it's going to be basically an online portfolio that you present to anyone if you're going for jobs, or if you're getting into training again, you will present this portfolio to your audience. So you go to print and you choose what you would like your portfolio to be in. I will say, yeah, an A4 is good. A3 is quite good if you're going to print it off as an A3, but you can go to A4 and you can decide if you want a landscape or portrait. Remember to put in the pages, as they say, 12 pages, and press create when you're done. So you should have a document like this. For those who do not know how to use it as yet, we're just going to go briefly over the tools, and I'm going to show you one of my catalogs in which I've made and how to construct a catalog. And then you can use those techniques in making your portfolio. So the tools again are on the left-hand side, just as the other programs, such as Illustrator and Photoshop. And the tool that you'll probably be often using is the place tool. It's rectangular frame tool, but this is the tool that you'll be using. On InDesign, they've got, if you look up on the page, they've already set out a marker. So if you're going to a print shop, or if you're going to somewhere to print off documents, they will say, leave a bleed area. So in InDesign, that's what they kind of create. They create a bleed area, meaning that everything in the square is perfectly fitted in this square, will be printed off like perfectly if you put everything positioned in a square. It doesn't mean that you cannot place images out of the square. It just means that it will bleed through the next, but it's quite nice to have a composition of them both, so you can do that. So I'm just going to, I want you to just make boxes. And just as when we made the color palette last week, you're just going to make boxes, go to edit, go to, what's it? Edit, no, sorry, file, and go to place, okay? It's instead of going to opening up a document and copying and pasting, the way InDesign does this is they actually place images from another document and into the square that you need. So we're all going to get onto that stage. So hopefully on that stage shows edit. So it's file, place, make sure your square is selected, and you can just choose an image. So for now, we're just playing around, choosing an image. So I'm going to go back to the cactus that we had before. Okay, and then you'll see the cactus is in the box, and it's not quite just the cactus alone, it's zoomed up in the box. So if you double click in the middle, let's see, cancel that. If you make sure you see this square turn, there's a little square. So that means I've got hold of the image within the box. And you can do it as if you want little areas of the cactus to be shown. But if you want the cactus fully to be shown, you will work with the image within the box. So now I'm selected the image, I can scale it down. Well, I have to hold shift, scale it down, move it up, and place it within the box. If you feel that this box is not it's a bit too small for it, you can also work with the shape of the box and bring things down like that, okay? So all I want you to do is just get boxes, place images in there, and then we're going to go move on to text, and then we will begin the stages of what you will need to do. So just do about 5 boxes so you understand placement, how to do them, but then you're going to delete this after. It's not going to be there. So just do on your first page. So it's placing images, putting them in boxes, and then messing around with the image within the box. So I'm going to show you some as well. It could be the same image, but you could also take little areas of the cactus. To keep things in order before actually making your boxes, you can have grids and guidelines. You can make them yourself by pulling down the ruler to areas that you would like. Yeah, so if you just know that's 100, to keep it from 100, or you can view your grids and guides by going to view, grids and guides, show document grid, okay? You can also show baseline grids, which will come from a horizontal prospect, okay? So if you like to work like this, sometimes it might do your eyes in, but it's quite good for making things very structured and neat. So they've already put kind of measurements on there already. So you can put that in, zoom in. And what can make a difference if you have, for instance, I'm just doing the cactus all through it. But if you had just one image and do areas of it being zoomed up and some of it being enlarged, it creates a nice effect on the page. So you can think about the composition of your designs when you're going to create a portfolio. When you're happy with what you've got, you can, if this was, it's just a test of how you could start creating your portfolios and making sure that your portfolio has a unique character to it and something that reflects you as a designer or you designing for someone. So if you're using, I will say, if you're using strokes in one page, make sure you have the strokes in another as well. So it just, it links with each other. So they're like a family and nothing's is out of order. So with the text, you will get the text box and place it here. So this is only for written text. So you can write straight onto InDesign. If you have a text in Windows, you don't really need to put the text box. You could go to, so you get your box here, the rectangular tool, sorry. And then you're going to go to place, and then you'll place a piece of writing. I don't have a piece of writing to show. Actually, I can probably.
Is it like you're just placing the text as if it's an image?
Yeah, just like that. So I've just placed this writing from a Word document. So it will work with Word documents. So you go to File, Place, and it inserts through. You can also alter the wording. So the good thing is, like, it was like you typing your work in. You can alter the wording, you can change the size, you can change the character of it. So that's one way. And obviously the other way is you typing directly onto the InDesign program. So if you are writing and forming your portfolio, always write things that make sense. You don't have to have a big spill. You can have, for instance, the name of this cactus, and you can have even mention the colors you use and the date you created it. It doesn't need to have a big spill on this cactus lives here or blah, 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 blah. It just needs to, the images that you put in your portfolio will describe what your work is about. So I will say, probably name the piece of work that you've got. You can name you can put down an inspiration that you have, or a motto, or the colorways that you've used on it. So just name it as a, say, cactus lady. I'm just going to put on here. If this was made into an animation, I will say animation for BBC 4 or something, or animation for BBC, and just keep things very brief, nothing so long. You can put the date it was created if you want to. The only thing with putting dates with things, make sure that when you're presenting work, that is not too old, because if you put a date and the date is from 1998 and you're trying to get jobs now, they want to see your skills now. So be careful how you use dates. If you don't want to show a date and it's from previous works, don't put the date in. Just leave it, just put what the image is about, and then you're ready. Okay, so that's one way, and that's how you put in your text. Okay. I'm just going to quickly go through. So this is go through a catalog in which I created, and then you will begin your task for today, which is creating your online portfolio. Okay. Okay, so this is a catalog I created for ASOS. So it's us, we was actually selling the works. So what I want you to do is kind of use some of the ideas in which I've done here, and also embed it within your portfolio. So and it's going to be much better. So the first page needs to have a title, okay? So this can be the name of your business, or it can be the name in which what you've done in the portfolio. So if you want to just put in the works that we've done, you can just have your name, BOP Createch, and the year. So the year is 2021. You don't need to get too specific about dates, March, July 2021. Just say year 2021. The next page, you should have a introduction of you, what you're about, and what your skills that you have. So it's a small kind of set of CV, I will say more like a personal statement that you will do on a portfolio. So every portfolio that you do create, especially if it's a design portfolio, it's good to include yourself as the person who's created the works. So put a little image on the side and describe who you are, a quick description. Things you like, you can even include, it might have nothing to do with design, but this is what grabs an audience attention, okay? So you can briefly discuss in your introduction the things that you've learned during BOP Createch and the things that you've done on the next page. And then you're just going to quickly go into your designs. This was simply made with what I've just shown you now. It's shown with the boxes, placement, and with the text placement. So these are things that are writing that I created in Microsoft Word. And I just simply created the boxes, measured them out very strictly so they line up together. So if I show you here, I made sure each line, I was being so extra, lined up together. And you can do it with your rulers, or you can do it with your line, what's it called, your grids. So I made sure each box lined up together. You can do the same too. And you're going to place them in there. What gives it a kind of family feel and character is me having this kind of strip here of the gray that is continuously going through the pages of the document. So if you have something that you would like your portfolio to have, and something that gives it character and makes it be you, I want to show you how to do that also. So we're going to go back to the untitled work. And if you just click on pages, you'll find at the top, I don't know if you can see you can see this side, right? Where I am, actually. Down. Okay, so if you go to pages, you will see something that says a dash master. Okay, so with these master pages, is one master page to the left and a master page to the right. So you can set up a master page, meaning that everything that you have on a master page will occur on every single page. So I'm just going to show you how to do and how it will work. So I'm going to choose the left side of the page, and I'm going to double click. And what it's telling me is set up a master page for every left side of your document. So anything I put on this document, it will show through all the pages. So I'll just do this. And this is a tool you're going to keep on using, your rectangular tool. And on my portfolio, I would like a color within the middle, okay? Okay, and you can see straight away, as I've put this on my master page, it's put it on every left-hand side of my document. So every part of this document on the left-hand side will have this color, yeah? You can use it as a way to make a header and footer. So on each corner of the page, you can write your name, and I put BOP Createch. And I put the year. Okay, so I can have this going through every corner of the page. I can choose what color I want it to be and so on. Just put that there. Just going to show you as well. Okay, so if we just go back to pages and go to page 2, you will see that this has been made all through the documents of our pages. I've put a color, I put a footer at the bottom, and this is going continuously down the page, okay? And you can stylize this any way you want. So if you wanted to, this has just been very easy of me. You could, let's go back to the master. You can take this out, put in, let's get a square here. I'm just going to place an image for you so it can look, give you an idea. You can just be creative with this. So here I had the writing on here, but I don't want them writing in. Okay. So, and then you can see this on each page. Let's zoom out. So you can see how it goes for your, if it was a portfolio, you will see this all on your page, okay? Okay, so I'm just gonna stop share this in a minute. And does anybody have any questions before I I share with you the task? Okay, so this is your task for you today. And what you have to do, you're going to create a digital portfolio. It will include all the work that you've done during the course. The first page is to create a title with your name, BOP Createch, and the year. Make this very design focused, I will say. Think about the color palette that you want to use during your portfolio, or the color palette that you may choose from an image. So you can do it like that. Your next 2 page, or your first page, should be an introduction page, and it should be about yourself. It was good to include a profile image, paragraph about yourself. You can probably copy and paste from your CV or your personal statement. A table of content is up to you. I won't really say you need a table of content because it makes it very formal. So you can minus that part of it out, because it's good to just go through pieces of work that is this design focus without being so, everything strategically planned and perfect. So it's good to do that. For pages of your work, including work you've done also offline. So you can take images that you've done in your sketchbooks, or images that you've just done sitting down watching TV, sketches, or yeah, any designs that you've done offline, you can also use in your portfolio. Just make sure that you clean your designs when presenting a portfolio. The best way to clean them is probably using Photoshop. If you need your designs cleaned, I can even show you how you can do that. It's literally rubber tool, or we can do it in Lightroom as well. When you're presenting your designs, make sure you show variations of your designs and have a color palette. You can have a color palette for each design, or you can have a color palette for your whole portfolio. So range your color palette between 6 to 8 colors, then that will help. And at the end, you will have show your contact details. It doesn't have to have your address. It can be just simple links to your blog or your vlog or your Instagram page, so people know where to find you and how to stay connected to you. Where you've just practiced doing the cactus part of it, yeah, you can delete that as the first page. That was just me trying to show you how to put images in and text. So for your portfolio, your online portfolio, that is the simple tools you kind of need. And yeah, you don't really need much other things. You can make it creative by putting your own shapes, but things that you place in it makes it easier. So I'm just going to delete and start with you all again. So I'll just change my master page, and I've deleted that now. This idea of the cactus having things foreground and background gives a good look on a portfolio. So it's quite good to just zoom into little areas of a design and zoom out in some of them. So I can keep this. So you can work into your background. Everything doesn't need to be as focused on your product that you've put in as well. So you can also have your design as the background. You can think about doing the first draft of how your design may have looked like and the completed version. So it's quite good to have them side by side like that. I will show you another thing. Yeah. So you can have the initial first design and then have your completed version together. But when you're designing it on a paper, make sure it looks better than this. And if you've got things like a logo, it's always good to have your palette right side and with the numbers indicating what numbers, the color codes of them, the Pantone colors. And this is what I'm talking about for the logo variations. So it's showing you different ways in which you can create a logo. So it's going for this organic yet sharp look, and you can show these variations alongside each other. If there is a space left out, just imagine you've made 5, I will say just put a type of text there. So either describing what's in there or just quickly noting what the logo is. So if this is weight, this logo is for being patient, I don't know, but you know, you've got to describe what it is. Talking about working offline, so if you've got a sketch that you've done offline and you place it in side by side, it also shows your initial drawings into the completed versions, and it's quite cool to do that, and it makes it original. So yeah, this was a drawing I had quickly done of a Messiah, and I've also completely done it in Adobe, so it shows you not much has been altered really, but it's just been digitalized. So if you're going for a portfolio that is going to use strokes, just make sure your strokes and your lines outline are everywhere, like present in most pages, because it just makes everything run through as a collective. So just make sure that if you've got your strokes here, that is also present on the next pages. What you could do as well, instead of, if you know this is the setup you want to do for every page, you can select, sorry, let me just zoom out. Zoom. You can select everything on the page, edit, copy, go to the other page and put edit paste. Go ahead. So instead of you doing those boxes again, you're just doing it, and then you can rotate it. I mean, check the image, transform. I think it's flip horizontal, I got it right. Yeah. Okay. So if you've got a layout and you want the same layout on each page, but they're just mirroring each other, you can do it like that, but make sure you just obviously change the writing and the images of them. So it can look like that on each page. This is your layout for each one. It's all right doing it like that, but sometimes it might get a bit boring. So make things exciting. Okay. And another thing with layout, you could place things right in the middle as well and have something so it's more like a spread instead of a page. So if you place something in the middle, you can have little boxes coming here and coming here. I'm going to just show you. Another one. Coming there. And if you're very comfortable with InDesign, you can actually work with the template first and then put in the images after. Just makes it a bit better as well. If you're going for this butterfly effect and this symmetrical designs, just remember to go to object and go to transform and flip horizontal. So whatever is done on one side, you've got to flip it horizontal. So if it was, if it was to be cut in half, everything's the same. So remember to do those things. As I said before, I've used the stroke on the bottom, so I will have to use my stroke somewhere else. So I have to use a stroke here too. You can select many of the boxes by holding shift at the same time and putting a stroke on them together. You go to properties and then change the weight of the stroke. And to also let you know, everything that's in the rectangular box is the only thing that gets printed, okay? So if your design is going out, that doesn't get printed. It's only everything that's in the placement box that gets printed. Okay. And then if you want to, you can leave it with no writing and make your images do all the talking, or if you want to describe what you have, you can do that also. So I'm going to go back to my master page because I feel like each page will need a footer. So you click on pages. Let me just put it here. I'll decide I'm going to put it here. And I'm going to just briefly write what this is about. everything on my pages now have Zara Affleck, and this is what it is on every page. Okay, see you all and have a good day, rest of the day.
Thank you. See ya.
Thursday.
Bye.